David Muir took a break from his ABC show to provide an urgent update on the tragic shooting that happened in Georgia on August 9th. David reminded viewers on his World News Tonight show that there had been an update following the hundreds of shots fired at the CDC headquarters in Atlanta. Nearly 200 bullets hit numerous buildings, and he said that approximately 500 ammunition were found. According to David, the suspect in the shooting allegedly blamed the COVID vaccine for his mental condition, and more than 150 windows were broken by the gunshots. The shooter's father actually dialed 911 to report his son as the assailant, which tragically led to the death of one officer. After that, David turned the reins over to Faith Abubby, an ABC News reporter who broke the shocking new revelations that had been unearthed by the police. According to Faith, the gunman was motivated by his distrust of the COVID-19 vaccination. The assailant was able to damage 6 buildings, inflicting suffering on the employees. A man from Kennesaw, Georgia, named Patrick Joseph White, 30, has been identified as the suspect. He took his own life right there. The shooter reportedly voiced his disapproval of the COVID-19 vaccination in writings that White possessed, according to the authorities. According to the suspect, who was also mentioned by neighbors and police, the COVID vaccine caused him to feel despondent and even suicidal. Nonetheless, the assertions that the vaccine can induce any of these symptoms have been denied by medical professionals. According to Chris Hosey of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, who spoke with reporters, the main purpose of one of the memos was to express his skepticism of vaccines. According to World News Tonight, White's father called 911 in a panic, thinking his son was the gunman. The suspect's father dials 911, as heard in an episode clip. His possible involvement in this shooting today is causing me a great deal of concern. Frankly, I have no idea whether he had any hand in it. I need some aid, he begged. According to CDC workers who spoke with ABC about the event, Robert F. Kennedy's anti-vaccine statements have encouraged threats against the CDC. Nonetheless, RFK, although Jr. publicly denounced the shooting, he continued to attack the CDC's attempts to vaccinate the public against COVID. He emphasized that public health institutions should never make claims that are not always true. The assertions have been strongly denied by those in charge of public health. Last Saturday, when David Muir interrupted World News Tonight, both the Atlanta newsroom team and viewers at home could feel the weight of the event. There is no drum roll for breaking news alerts. Something has changed in the world, and they bring with them a familiar anchor's voice with a tightened cadence and a certain tone. As the night came to a close, a chain reaction of discoveries had left a whole federal agency in disarray, a town in grief, and the national discourse surrounding false information, public safety, and leadership in a state of acute rawness. Now you know the general outline of what the investigators would call a targeted attack. Near Atlanta's Royal campus of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, a gunman opened fire. Multiple rounds hit government structures. The suspect passed away after an altercation, and at least one police officer was slain while on duty. Details: gunfire, apparent motive, suspect's father's frantic 911 calls, and worries about public language and workplace safety elevated the story from headline to crisis with aftershocks. Here is a more detailed account of what transpired, why it's important, and how the public, officials, and employees are responding to an incident that has reopened divisions regarding leadership, security, and misinformation at a pivotal public health institution in the country. Investigators were still trying to make sense of the mayhem in the Emory/CDC corridor when David Muir cut off World News Tonight that night to provide updates. The breaking news about Muir indicated that the inquiry was progressing rapidly. Near the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and Emory University, police reacted to reports of an active shooter. Initial reports indicated that numerous buildings had been damaged, leading to the lockdown of the university. Authorities have described the fresh revelations as stunning, and ABC's Faith Abubby delivered the report and covered it live from the scene. The interruption's suddenness mirrored the gravity of the situation and the challenge of distinguishing confirmed information from unfounded speculation in the midst of a developing crisis. The quantity of gunfire was described by officials as exceptional as they proceeded to assess the area.